Welcome to PVT Express News. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new videos. And now, here's today's content. Tan Songyun never needed to arrive with a bang. In an entertainment industry obsessed with instant fame, viral moments, and overnight sensations, she chose a very different path, one built on patience, quiet consistency, and time. Today's stars rise and fall faster than the short videos people scroll through on their phones. One actor dominates headlines this week, another replaces them the next. The industry moves at a dizzying speed, dazzling but unstable, filled with careers that flare brightly like fireworks before disappearing into the dark. But every once in a while, someone comes along who doesn't chase attention. Someone who doesn't fight to stand in the center of every spotlight. At first, you may barely notice them. Then one day, you suddenly realize they've already become unforgettable. That is the kind of actress Tan Songyun is. She was never the type to explode into fame overnight. Instead, she slowly entered people's hearts over the years, almost quietly. Like tea steeping over time, her charm isn't immediate or overwhelming. The first sip feels gentle. The second feels comforting. And before you know it, you can't stop coming back. The most remarkable thing about her career is that it never feels manufactured. Looking back, it almost seems as though she was always there, steadily growing, patiently waiting for audiences to finally notice what had been in front of them all along. That is true staying power, not winning instantly, but never truly losing. For many viewers, their first memory of Tan Songyun was her role as the innocent and warm-hearted consort Shen in Empresses in the Palace. At the time, few could have predicted that this supporting character with limited screen time would still remain relevant and beloved more than a decade later. Yet even then, she possessed something difficult to describe. It wasn't forced innocence or carefully crafted sweetness. She simply felt genuine. Her presence carried warmth naturally, and even the smallest moments felt sincere. She didn't need dramatic scenes or long speeches to leave an impression. Sometimes a single glance or quiet line was enough. Audience connection has always been mysterious. Some actors work tirelessly yet never truly resonate with viewers. Others simply appear on screen, and people instinctively want to keep watching. Tan Songyun belongs to the second category. But being liked for a moment is one thing. Being loved consistently for more than 10 years is something entirely different. That kind of longevity cannot be explained by luck alone. It requires discipline, emotional intelligence, and a rare understanding of how to grow without losing yourself. What makes her story even more compelling is how ordinary it began. She was not born into privilege. She did not enter the industry with powerful connections, enormous resources, or the protection of major investors. There was no glamorous shortcut waiting for her. Tan Songyun was born in Luzhou into a family that appreciated art but lived modestly. Her grandparents worked in a theater troupe. Her father taught dance. Her mother supported her with quiet tenderness. It was the kind of upbringing that nurtured creativity without encouraging vanity. At only 11 years old, she left home to study dance professionally. While most children her age were still being protected and cared for, she was already enduring physically demanding training sessions, stretching, practicing endlessly, pushing her body beyond comfort. Dance training is not just about technique. It reshapes discipline, pain tolerance, and mental strength. It teaches patience long before success ever arrives. Later, she decided to pursue acting instead. Many assumed she would smoothly enter the prestigious Beijing Film Academy, but reality was harsher. She failed her first attempt because her academic score fell slightly below the required line. That small gap changed everything. It's the kind of setback most ordinary people understand deeply. Effort does not always guarantee immediate success. Sometimes you try your hardest and still fall short. What mattered was what happened next. Her parents never told her to give up. In many families, dreams are measured against practicality. People ask whether the tuition is worth it, whether the investment has a guaranteed return, whether pursuing art is realistic at all. But her parents simply told her to try again. That support became one of the most important turning points in her life. During the year she spent preparing for the exam again, she studied academic subjects at night and practiced acting during the day. Her schedule was exhausting, repetitive, and uncertain. There was nothing glamorous about it. No inspirational headlines. No public sympathy. No audience cheering her on. Just persistence. Finally, in 2007, she received her acceptance letter from the Beijing Film Academy. It wasn't a dramatic comeback story. It was something quieter and more meaningful, proof that perseverance sometimes works slowly. Even after entering the academy, Tan Songyun did not rush to become famous. She attended classes seriously, focused on improving herself, and gradually entered the industry through small supporting roles. Most audiences barely noticed her appearances in early projects like The Happy Life of Jean Taro. Some roles lasted only a few minutes. Some were so minor that even production teams likely paid little attention to them. But she treated every role seriously. That detail matters. Because many actors work hard only when opportunity feels big enough. Tan Songyun approached every character as though it deserved care, regardless of screen time or visibility. She spent years quietly building experience while others chased shortcuts. Then came 2016 and The Best of Us. Suddenly, audiences everywhere were talking about her. Many described it as her overnight success. But nothing about it was overnight. It had taken more than a decade. Her character, Dunggung, felt extraordinarily real, stubborn, ordinary, warm, and quietly resilient. Viewers saw themselves in her. What made the performance even more impressive was that Tan Songyun was already in her 20s while convincingly portraying a high school student without feeling unnatural. That kind of youthful energy cannot be created through makeup alone. Real youthfulness comes from emotional honesty. Still, success created a new challenge. Once actors become associated with youthful or cute characters, the industry often traps them inside that image. Many performers panic and attempt aggressive transformations, desperately trying to prove they can play darker, stronger, or more complicated roles overnight. But forcing transformation too quickly often backfires. Audiences can immediately sense when an actor is trying too hard to appear serious. Tan Songyun chose another route. Instead of rejecting her earlier image, she slowly expanded it. In Under the Power, audiences began noticing new layers beneath her: cheerful energy, intelligence, wit, emotional sharpness, even vulnerability. Her characters became more dimensional without losing the warmth that originally drew viewers to her. Then came what many consider her true turning point, Li Jianjian in Go Ahead. This role changed everything. Li Jianjian was not simply cute or lovable. She was deeply human, shaped by loneliness, family wounds, love, grief, and emotional survival. She could laugh loudly at the dinner table one moment and quietly fall apart in isolation the next. The emotional complexity of the character demanded restraint rather than exaggeration. That restraint became Tan Songyun's greatest strength. She never overperformed pain. She didn't dramatize every emotion for effect. Instead, she captured the subtle reality of how people actually suffer in everyday life, the forced smile hiding exhaustion, the silent breakdown behind closed doors, the tears held back until nobody is watching. Those moments felt devastating precisely because they were understated. Her evolution as an actress never happened through sudden reinvention. It happened gradually, naturally, almost invisibly, the same way real people grow through life experiences over time. That slow progression may not generate explosive headlines, but it creates something far more valuable: trust. And trust is rare in entertainment. Today's industry rewards speed. Actors are pressured to trend faster, produce more content, dominate social media, and maintain constant visibility. Popularity becomes a race where everyone fears being forgotten. But fast success often creates fragile careers. Once the attention fades, audiences quickly move on to the next sensation. Tan Songyun built her career differently. She did not choose the shortest route. She chose the most stable one. Rather than relying on constant publicity, she allowed her work to speak for her. Over time, audiences stopped merely liking her and began believing her. That distinction matters enormously for an actor. Being liked often depends on appearance, image, or temporary popularity. Being believable depends on skill, emotional understanding, nuance, and the ability to disappear into a role. As her career matured, she gradually moved into more grounded and realistic characters. These roles no longer depended entirely on charm. They demanded credibility. And she earned it. What's especially admirable is that she never rushed to prove she could play everything. Every new role feels connected to the last, building carefully upon years of accumulated experience rather than discarding her identity for shock value. That accumulation created stability. The result is an actress whose performances now feel deeply rooted rather than performative. In many ways, Tan Songyun represents something modern entertainment rarely celebrates anymore: quiet endurance. She does not resemble the distant, untouchable celebrity template so common today. Instead, she feels approachable, like someone who kept working step by step while the world rushed around her. And perhaps that is why so many people continue to connect with her. In an industry full of filters, noise, and carefully manufactured personas, her authenticity feels almost rebellious. She reminds audiences that growth does not need to happen instantly. That slowing down is not failure. That consistency can sometimes outlast brilliance. She may not always be the loudest star in the sky, but she is the light that never goes out. And maybe that kind of light lasts the longest of all. Please join the discussion. Feel free to leave comments. Welcome to my channel. Thank you all.